And we're with Coach T J Maynard of the Russell Red Devils. And TJ, I said we wouldn't talk a lot about last week, but we do have to mention that you'd like to pull some things together that you.
Yeah, obviously we got to do a better job as coaches and putting our kids in better scenarios to be successful. Obviously, our special teams got to play a lot better, and we just didn't play very well. And sometimes that happens. Obviously, if we're going to play bad, I'd much rather have been last week than this coming week, because this week, if you lose and you don't play how you're supposed to play, you're taking up equipment. So hopefully our kids learned a lesson from there last week, and we as coaches learned a lesson from last week. Plus, you got to give a lot of credit to Coach McNamee and Pikeville. They're a very, very, very good football team.
And they're going to be good year after year, like you mentioned, and I did as well earlier in the season. They beat Pikeville or beat Belfry.
Yeah, yes, they did. And again, he's done a great job. I've played Pike the last 4 years. Kind of know what kind of program they have and what kind of job he does and the kids they got. And they're a solid program. No matter if they're 1A, 3A, 4A, doesn't matter. They're a solid football program.
This week it's Western Hills. They were here 2-3 years ago for a playoff game. Russell was lucky enough to win right at the end, and then they went on to lose the next week. So your first week opponent's 5-5. I know records aren't everything, but 5 losses are 5 losses. And so tell me what you have seen and can expect here.
Obviously, 5-5. You can kind of throw it out the window now. Everyone's 0-0. They played in their district, which is Bourbon, Garrett, and Estill. Bourbon beat them pretty bad, but Garrett and Estill was a battle for both those games. So they're a quality team. They're really big up front. They go 330, 305, 295 up front. So they got a lot of size, and then they got a lot of athletes out on the edge that can really run. So that's one of those issues you got to worry about, that if you're not in position or you don't get to a certain gap or make a tackle, that one of those guys is going to take it to the house. So you got to make sure that we tackle well in space and don't give them big plays.
So what do they are they a runner or a passer, or do they try to mix it up?
They run. They'll do a lot of jet sweep motion, and off that jet sweep they have a couple like zone read plays, stuff like that. But they're going to try to get their athletes in space on you and make big plays.
And so you are going to bring your house of cards to the game Friday night. Is everybody going to be okay?
Yeah, we're as healthy as I guess you can be at this time of year. Obviously, Nick's ankle is not 100%, but he played last week. He'll be able to go this week. Logan Suman, same way. He's been playing with a bum ankle, but he'll be ready to go. We get Timmy Hammond back, which will be a big plus. We haven't had Timmy since the Fleming County game, so getting him back in there with his experience and his strength should be a plus for us.
So there's some other games. I think Mason plays Estill. That should be a pretty good ball game as well.
Yes, it should be. I know Mason made a change at quarterback last week, and they were able to do some things, put some more points on the board than they had been. Estill has a really good quarterback. I have not actually got a chance to see him, but just heard all the guys talking to me about him and just how dynamic he is. So we'll get one of those two guys next week if we're lucky enough to make sure we get through on Friday.
Yeah, and so it may be another big battle. I mean, every game's a battle now, right?
Oh, yeah, and again, it doesn't matter how you win as long as you got enough one more point in your opponent from this point on. Again, hopefully our kids are going to respond well from last week. Again, there was a lot of things transpired in that game, but this week, it's do or die. So we've had a little bit of a more of a sense of urgency in practice, and we're just looking for the opportunity to play.
Good luck, TJ, and hopefully we'll be together again next week.
I hope you're right back in this office with me, man. We need that. But again, we're really looking forward to. Hopefully the fans come out and get support. These kids have really worked hard.
Thanks.